All right, NAIC meta tier list. So this will be, I'll be tier listing these decks based on how good of a play I think they are for NAIC specifically. Just NAIC, nothing else. So I think I'm just going to start off with Dragapult up here, S tier. I'm going to leave, I think Dragapult Hammers is just in its own category. The other versions of Dragapult have their own pros and cons. Actually, hold up. I am going to add, you know what? I will go ahead and throw Dragapult to Dunsparce in here for that reason. The other versions of Dragapult have their own pros and cons in the matchups outside of the mirror match, but straight Dragapult with Crushing Hammers has the best mirror match, so it should just be in a tier of its own. And we're going to go with, I don't know, 15%, right? We can increase it if we have to. And then I'm going to put all the other versions of Dragapult, which all have their own other pros and cons outside of the mirror match as a reason to play it. Like, Dragapult Blaziken is better against the grass decks, like the Hydrapples. Having the alternate attacker is nice against stuff like Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Dragapult to Dunsparce, you got the Crustle or the Dunsparce EX. You can beat Crustle. You're more straightforward, more draw power. You abuse Risky Ruins the best. Dragapult to Dusknoir theoretically has like the widest matchup spread outside of the mirror. Widest matchup spread outside of the mirror and has like the most takeover potential. So I'm gonna go like, I don't know, 5. Let's go 5, 5, 5. Well, I mean, this one's probably less. So this one's probably like 3. So it's like 3, 6, 8. Let's go with that. 32% of the metagame. Sounds good to me. But then I don't think I put anything else in A tier. Yeah, my thought process has definitely developed a little bit since I did the one on the podcast with Chip. So I don't think anything else goes in A tier. I think it's just Dragapult, best Dragapult, Crushing Hammers, and then other good Dragapults, A tier. And then B tier. Now, there's a lot of Slowking hype right now. I think Slowking will still be a pretty good play, though. I don't think a ton of Dragapult players are going to be adding Shaman to their lists. Some will, not to the degree that you have to stress about it as Slowking. Because you can actually still just beat Dragapult as Slowking by attacking through their active. You win the prize trade. You can win the prize trade literally just by going like turn 2 KO Badoo with a Slowpoke into turn 3 KO, whatever they push up. Badoo number 2, whatever. And then go knock out Dragapult, knock out Dragapult. You don't have to do like the big Kyurem play to beat Dragapult. You can do other stuff as Slowking to beat Dragapult. So even if the Dragapult players add Shaman, which most probably won't, because there's other better ways to tech for the matchup like Rare Candies. And learning the matchup. Learning the matchup should always be the #1 way that people try and tackle. Learning before teching is always a good learning before teching. Or yeah, you could play the Justin Newdorf deck and you can play Dusknoir and Crushing Hammers, of course. You can play it all. Slowking I'll put at 5%. Actually, maybe it's going to be pretty big. I'm going to go 6. I'm going to go 6 on the Slowking because it was already 4%. If I just switch back over to here, it was already like 4% over here, right? Yeah, it was already 4%. So I'm gonna go with 6% going into NAIC. A little bit more. Well, I mean, are people gonna be scared off of it? Maybe 5. There's gonna be there's like a mix of hype and fear, right? Definitely a mix of hype and fear. So maybe it just maintains at 4, to be honest, because there's already some hype around Slowking headed into Turin. And now there's like a mix of hype and fear because it did so well, because that's cool. That's going to inspire people to play it and commit to it. And then now there's the fear of, well, it did well, so now people are going to tech for it. So maybe it's just still at 4%. Mega Greninja, a little bit underwhelming so far. So I'm going to go put it down here in, actually, maybe with this tier list, I think Greninja is probably a D tier deck. I haven't figured it out personally. The deck feels like it has a lot of potential, but the power isn't for sure there yet. So I'm going to go with Mega Greninja here at D tier. There's going to be a lot of stuff in D tier because of where the Pults are pushing everyone down. But I hope someone figures it out. I hope someone figures out Mega Greninja. I hope they win the tournament. I'm going to go with, I don't know, maybe I'll just copy Turn a little bit. What did Turn say about Mega Greninja? Turn said 3%. That sounds good to me. 3%. Not like there's a lot of hype or anti-hype for Mega Greninja right now, so 3's good. You gotta try the Tree Frog still too. You'll never catch me Tree Frogging. Enzork, I think it is a pretty good play here. Favorite against all the Dragapult builds. If not by a lot, at least by a little bit. You can beat a lot of the other decks in the format. You don't lose to as much stuff as people think you do with Enzork. And I think Enzork has a lot of tech space. You can really lean into beating some of the non-Pult decks than others. It depends which route you want to go with your Enzork build. Not going to be very popular. Honestly, a lot of the percentages are probably pretty similar to the Turn percentages, I think. We'll go 4% for Enzork. I don't think any decks that aren't Pult can be put higher than B. Pult is so oppressive, it deserves 2 tiers to itself. No, that's cringe. All right, Alakazam to Dunsparce. Probably still a B tier deck as well. Like, it's gotten worse for it. It had an okay showing at Turin, obviously. It got what? It got a top cut at Turin. That's cool. Once again, I'm going to rob the metagame percentage here, 5%. That seems reasonable to me. Special red card, Watchtower been on the up, so it's not going to be as good of a play as it was when Karis won with it. Like, when Karis won with it, it was probably like an S tier play. Really good meta call from her. But moving past that, Chaos Rising format, special red cards, Watchtower more popular. Falls off for sure. We'll give it a B tier here. Please explain why you have your position on Tree Frogs? I just don't like... Grand Tree is just terrible. Every time I play with Grand Tree, the decks are just super mid. I mean, playing it with the Fighting Guy is like kind of cool. The Fighting Guy is like, okay. I'd be down to revisit the Fighting Guy deck, but at some point. I don't want to play with Mega Greninja if that was what was being asked. Mega Greninja with Tree sounds terrible. I just don't... I think the Neo Upper is just too important. I wish it wasn't. I don't want to play Neo Upper in there, but I feel like you have to. Ogerpon Meganium Hydrapple. I think this deck actually... I might put Ogerpon Meganium Hydrapple in C tier. Now, my experience with this deck in the Pult matchup is not great. I do have a feeling that Ogerpon Meganium Hydrapple is unfavored against Pult if they have the Moltres. I think you're unfavored. If they don't have it, you're favored. But, I mean, if we go look at... Turin here. Actually, I can't do it on this page, but I can do it on this page. We go to tournaments. Let me go to Turin. Then we go to cards. Let me go to Dragapult. 64% had the Moltres. Okay, that's not as high as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be higher. I think the win rate has also been unfavored, right? 64%. Ooh, someone's got the Rabska in there. Okay. So I kind of want to put it down here because I think you're going to be struggling against the Pults at this tournament. I think Pults are going to be tough for Hydrapple to overcome. And that's where its strength came from. When it first kind of came onto the scene and was doing well and seemed like a cool hype deck, it was like, oh, it's favored against Dragapult. You're favored against Dragapult. And I think that was true until they all have Moltres now, or basically they all have Moltres. So now I'm like less of a fan of it. The Rabska, 99% Fez. Yeah, the... Yo, who didn't have... Someone lost their Fez the night before the tournament for sure. There's no way. Yo, someone had 2 Meowth. There was 1 or 2 people with 2 Meowth. 2 Meowth in the deck is actually not crazy, to be honest. Not playing Fez. Not playing Fez is a little crazy, though. I will say that. Not playing Fez is kind of wild. Most people had double Monkey Dory. Interesting. Maybe some people had 3 Monkey Dory? That seems crazy, though. Did it Dunsparce non-Fez build? Oh, true. Did it Dunsparce non-Fez build? Secret Box? Yeah, there was a Secret Box build. We can look at that real fast if we want to. Where was the Secret Box build? Who was it? It was pretty high up. I'm going to struggle to find it. Or was it in cut? No, it wasn't in cut. They're in here somewhere. I don't remember the name. All I remember is that there was a Secret Box build. But dude, I'm not going to be able to do that. Is there a better way to find this? Oh, I can do it like this, right? We can go cards. Is this the best way to find it, though? Secret Box. Let me scroll down. Open all deck lists. Let me look for the Dragapult. Yeah, Roan here. Oh, yeah, but this list was wild. Yeah, that's right. This list was insane. Yeah, this list was insane. It was double Clefairy, double Wondrous Patch, triple Lily's Pearl. More Lily's Pearl than Clefairies are in this list. This is an insane list. And Secret Box. This is a Secret Box. Is it broken, though? Is it broken? Could be. Once again, we're going to steal. I think 5% sounds correct. Maybe 6. I don't know. People kind of like this deck. We'll go with 5, though. No, we'll go 6. Lock Me to Dunsparce. I think this deck has fallen off super far. Super hard. Pult's gotten harder. They got special red cards. They have more Watchtowers. The Slowking matchup is unfavored, especially if they have the Brave Bangle. Now you have to maybe go back to Hero's Cape, but Hero's Cape is so much worse than Enriching Energy. Once again, I'm going to steal Turin percentages here. I'm going to give it 2, though. It was like 2.6. I'm going to go with 2 on that one. Team Rocket Honchkrow, I think it's at least C. I would be tempted to put this up in B. No, C probably. Slow King is going to be more popular than it's ever been. That's a tough matchup. And then, but that's kind of it, to be honest. Everything else, like your pulp matchups are all the same as they have been. I'll put Honchko in C tier. Once again, I'm going to copy. I feel like the percentages are probably pretty similar to how Turn played out. 4%. 4% Huntress. All right, Beedrill. I'm a big Beedrill fan. Everything I've played with Beedrill up to this point, the decks felt pretty good. I think there's more to figure out with the deck. Most recently, I've got Rabsca in my build. The Rabsca feels insanely good in the deck. I really, really like the Rabsca in the Beedrill deck. So I think Rabsca's got some depth there. I'm just gonna steal. How do people feel about Rabsca in general? Though, once again, I'm just gonna steal the turn percentage, 2%. I'm gonna say it's 4. I'm gonna say the B's on the come up here. I think more people are figuring out the B, figuring out the way to play it. We could see some B success at this tournament for sure. Honestly, I think Rabsca maybe solves the deck. The more I've thought about the Rabsca, helps you against the Torrential Pump, helps you against... Maybe you need to play a switch card in there, though. Yeah, it helps you against the Pump, helps you against the Slow King. Now you can beat King. Beat King, you can handle Torrential Pump. The deck maybe needs a switch card, though. The deck might need a switch card. Because... maybe you should, like, play a Surfer. Team Rocket's Mewtwo. I'm going D tier for the Team Rocket's Mewtwo. The pulp matchups have gotten harder. Crushing Hammer's annoying. Blaziken's annoying. Dusknoir's annoying. Besides that, I mean, the deck has few redeeming qualities. Slow King matchup is bad. Are people even playing this deck like that anymore? Like, what are we even playing this at? 3%? I mean, I don't see a reason for it to not be 3% at this tournament still. It'll probably still be kind of maintain that same percentage. Festival Lead, also D tier. Paul matchup's tough. I mean, you're good against the Slow King. Beedrill honestly might be tough. I actually don't even know. Can you get through that many Bs? Is it possible to get through that many Beedrills? I don't even know if it's possible to deal with that many Bs. Appreciate the raid there, Charles. We had a good stream. Congrats on the dub. I think Zorak as a draw engine for Greninja is actually good. Yes. What up, Azul? Paul Chicken is in fake. Austin just proved it. Oh, wait, that's it? That's all the proof we needed? Okay, all right, I'm down then. Best deck, best version of Dragapult. Lock it in. I'm playing Paul Chicken for NAIC. What's the difference between Dragapult and Dragapult to Dunsparce? It's like the way I'm categorizing Dragapult to Dunsparce is that it's the one with like the 2/2 to Dunsparce and the Dunsparce EX, or like 2/1/1. Like that line with like double Risky Ruins. Whether or not it plays the Hero's Cape and like no other 2 prizers is kind of whatever, but it's like the thicker Dunsparce line with the Risky Ruins kind of deal. You should play Crustle at NAIC. I've thought about it. Crustle's on the menu for sure. I could last minute Hail Mary a Crust. Don't tempt me. We'll give this thing 3%. Mega Lucario. I mean, you gotta deal with Slow King, Alakazam. Dude, this deck sucks right now, man. Slow King, Alakazam. Pulp matchups are not even like over. You gotta deal with Crushing Hammers. You gotta deal with Dusknoir. Is Beedrill also just bad for Mega Lucario now? I don't even know. You gotta deal with Beedrill. What is Lucario beating at this point? The answer is not very much, I don't think. Once again, I'm just going to steal the... I'll go with 3% on the Mega Lucario, though. Oh, is that combined percentage? Variant grouping on... No, it was 5. All right, we'll give it 5. Well, I'll still give it 5. I think people just like Lucario, to be honest. I think people are just fans of Lucario. Lucario is very tough for Beedrill because of the 340. Not what do you mean? Hit him with a Fan Rotom, clean it up with a B. Hit it with a Fan Rotom, leave everything at Kakuna's. Knockout. Next turn, 4 Bs, knockout. Clean. I guess we'd have to go like B. We have to go like B, KO the Soul Rock. Well, no, but the thing is, that means they didn't Aura Jab, which means they don't have a follow-up. Hold up. Maybe it is just good. Hit him with a Weedle. Hit him with a Weedle. They can handle the Weedle. Slop. In general, I mean, there's always good ways to play Slop. You just got to get the right read on the metagame. So I think I'll put Slop in B tier. And when I'm saying this has basic box, that means like this encompasses everything. Raging Bolt, what Emma Hagen, the all-out Blitzel build, the one that Emma Hagen played at Turin, the one that just won the Japan Championships, the Ends Plan build, which is basically the Japan Championship build, Ian Rob's Raging Bolts, the Crispin builds, like this is it. Basic box is all of those decks. I mean, what does turn say? Raging Bolt is what? 4. We'll give it like, I don't know, 8% of the metagame probably. Basic box is 3. We'll give it like 10. We'll say like all of that combined is 10%. Also play a Kieran as your switch, so you can hit one-shot Lucario with 3 Bs if you need to. How much other math comes up for that for the Kieran? You go from 330 to 360, so you'd want to KO Lucario something. Lucario Mega Greninja. You KO Lucario and Mega Greninja, I guess. I don't hate it, I guess. I don't hate it. It lets you hit those bigger numbers. Okay. You know what? I could see it. I can vibe with that. Crustle here, probably a C. It's C or B. Let's see. Crustle. Let's say your favorite against all Pults. Let's just say that. Poltnor's the toughest of the 3. Pult Blaziken, if they tech for you, is unbeatable, but hopefully they don't tech for you. Actually, Pult to Dunsparce, they're probably playing the EX, so that's also unbeatable. Blaziken, if they tech for you, it's unbeatable. Dunsparce is unbeatable just by default, we'll say. You beat Poltnor, you beat Straight Pult, you beat Enzorark. You can tech for Alakazam, but you need to tech a lot. Basic box. Basic box is a deck. Crustle beats a lot. Some basic boxes, but not all of them. You lose to Slowking. You beat the Beedrill. You lose to the Hydrapple Meganium Ogerpon thing. You lose to Team Rocket's Honchkrow. I mean, you're just really living off your... I'm going to go ahead and say C tier play. It doesn't seem that good, to be honest, right now. Basic box does include Bolt, and I'm just going to steal turns percentage here as well for Crust. 1.6. I'm going to go ahead and say it's just going to be 1. It just doesn't seem like that good of a play the more I think about it. And then finally, Hops Trevenant, 1% metagame share. I think it belongs here in C tier. I could see maybe putting this up in B tier, but my confidence in the deck isn't super high with how little I played it, so with more play or whatever, I could see changing that up. Okay, and then as always, with these tier lists, I'm going to organize the decks in the tier list by which one I would more want to play at the tournament. So, I mean, S tier. And then for A tier, Poltnor, Pulted Unsparce, Pult Blaziken. Man, I hate that chicken. B tier, Zoroark, Slowking. Oh, I like the B too, though. I think Alakazam would be the last tier. For basic box, I would be playing the Japan Championships winning list. So you called my take cringe, but your list proved my take correct. Paul takes top 2 tiers to itself. Wouldn't you say it should also have the B tier? Or am I trolling? You said I should move everything under B. Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe we both agree then, yeah. I thought you were saying I should move everything to C and below. Like there should be another tier as a gap. Austin said he will not be tolerating chicken slander. It's a deck with a chicken in it. If I had to play a C tier deck, I would probably play Team Rocket's Honchkrow, then Crustle, then Hops Trevenant, then Ogerpon, Meganium Hydrapple. Man, I do not like the Ogerpon Meganium Hydrapple deck. And then finally D tier. If I had to play a deck from D tier, it would definitely be Mega Greninja first. Then it would probably be Mega Lucario. Then it would be Festival Lead. Then it would be Lopunny to Dunsparce. And then finally, Rocket's Mewtwo. And that's it. That's my thoughts on the NAIC metagame coming up this weekend. What I like, what I don't like, why I like what I like. Zoroark can't be really A tier with its bad matchups. I don't think it has as many bad matchups as people think it does. That's why I have it in A tier. I think your favorite against all Pults. Slowking matchup is fine. Alakazam matchup is fine. Your basic box matchup is fine. I mean, Honchkrow's unfavored. Hops Trevenant, I couldn't tell you if it's favored or unfavored. You're probably fine against Mega Greninja. Mega Lucario's tough. Marcus Mewtwo is tough. Fine against Lopunny Dunsparce. Lose to Festival Lead. Your favorite against all Dragon Ball builds. I mean, that's like that's the thing. Your favorite against all Dragon Ball builds. That's where it comes from. Which Zoroark list are you putting in B tier? I mean, probably just all of them, to be honest. The Hermione build has everything in it, so you're less good against Dragapult, but you're more good against everything else, right? So that's kind of the trade-off. The non-Hermione build is better against Dragapult, but worse against everything else. So you're beating Dragapult more often and beating everything else less often, or you're beating Dragapult less often and beating everything else more often. So I think both builds are about equal in terms of expected win percentage at a tournament. It just depends which route you want to go. It depends how much you expect other stuff to succeed besides Dragapult. And I would not expect things besides Dragapult to succeed that much. I think Dragapult's going to be succeeding a lot because all of the best players in the world are showing up to this tournament, and they are almost all of them, a very large percentage of them, are playing Dragapult. So I give the edge to the Zoroark build that's better against Dragapult. When we're talking about like skill diffing your opponents, it's gonna be harder to skill diff the Dragapult players than it is everyone else for the most part. So that's it. That's the tier list.